Stephen contacted me through LinkedIn and said, I hear you are a weekend spare time Ute chick.
Oh, and didn't that upset up? These
If anyone knows anything about Ute shows and Ute, I am the furthest person in the world you'll ever find from the typical Ute chick. What you will find me doing is going on the weekends to classic car rallies with my husband, who loves this ute, and I go because of the joy that it gives my husband, my father-in-law and my family. So this is the 1955 Vauxhall Utility that's been in my husband's family since it was bought in 1956 at the Arrow Shop as a demonstrator. So there it is, looking absolutely fabulous, and we have it here today out the front for all of the people that love to come and have a look in underneath it. So we'll go through the story today of the ute and how we got it going. When I first married my husband, this ute, which I didn't even really know, was always sitting in the shed. And it had always been sitting in the shed just like that. What I didn't know was the story behind it at the time. I didn't know that this ute was bought brand new. It was the family car until the second child came along, because there was room for my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, the eldest daughter Diana, and Marion, and Arthur was actually in his mum's tummy when they worked out this ute isn't going to fit fine on the front seat. So they bought another car. So the ute then was put down to the farm and became the farm ute. And it was also the utility that my husband and his brother Philip learned to drive in. So that explains a few dents, and we'll go into the story behind the hay shed later when the new ute took the other way. So let's get into the story of how we got started and how the ute was developed. So just prior to us selling our farm back in 2005, my husband wanted to get the ute started, and I just thought it was one of those follies down in the shed. So let's just not talk about it, just leave it down in the shed. However, we sold the farm and had to shift, and what I didn't realise is he had every intention of shifting this. So this is the shed at the farm, and here he is pulling it down. It's a nice little winter job, wasn't it? This was on the northern side, the sun came in. On a day like today, you find tinkering around in the shed. So that's the format that it came from the shed that you saw it before, up into the shed right beside the house, in a it was rain-proof and leak-proof, not mouse-proof, but it was a step up for the old Vauxhall. So there it is, pulling it all apart in bits and pieces, so it became just a shell. So there's the motor and the wire and everything, all being pulled out. So there it is, back in the shed with the door behind it now, so it's getting classier and classier as it's becoming hollower and hollower. So the big trick was when we were putting it all apart to make sure it was all numbered, and we could put it back together, with which it came back. Hopefully all the screws we had at the end have a place somewhere in this chassis. So bad paint and Velcro. So this is the condition it was in to start with, and that's how it came back out of the shed. So it was originally like the colour of a puppy, like a grey puppy colour. So the chrome was reasonably still good, but dull. And as you can see, the paintwork, well, we're not even going to call that good, are we? Really? So there it is. We're about to shift. We're about to have the clearing sale. I said, honey, what are we doing? He says, oh, it's going over to be painted. Got rather excited. His poor old axle, he just nearly made it off the farm, just got run over the day. That's another story. So this is the original colour, as you can see there, that bluey colour. And so he had started getting panel by panel painted by the local panel fellow in Clifton, and we were going for the original colour. However, he retired, Mr. Allen, and so therefore we had to find somebody else to paint the ute. Since the ute had to be shifted into the new house in Toowoomba, it went via Pittsburgh, and I'm going to say Hudson, is that right, Arthur? And Mr. Hudson had retired, but he had a spray unit up his back shed, and he repainted the shell. So this is how it arrived in Toowoomba, so quite a step up, you've got to admit, and all it looks rather nude, but apart from that, the paintwork on it was beautiful. Now you might ask, why did we go cream? Well, it is one of the original Vauxhall colours, but my husband asked the daughters, this was your favourite flat, really, wasn't it? Asked the daughters, what do you think of this blue, the original colour? They didn't like it. Or grey blue, yeah. So the daughters decided it should go grey, which I think the eldest father's still a little bit upset about, but that's the only part that wasn't original. However, it is an original colour of a Vauxhall in that era. So there it is, ready to go into the shed in Toowoomba. So we paint inside, right into the chassis all gets painted, the dashboard all gets painted as well as the outside. So then we go amount of time because everything that we pulled back out had to go back in and had to be chromed. This probably wasn't chromed inside, it was still alright. That was just all polished up bit by bit and put back bit by bit. And as you can see, there's no lines on the doors there because they all had to be upholstered and there's no seat. So that was probably the first job we ever got done was the upholstery. It was the easy bit. We took it into R&R Upholstery Works here in Toowoomba and we had that done within about 2 weeks. It was the quickest and fastest part of the whole renovation. And so there we go. We started to put the red back inside, all the upholstered panels back inside. What you don't know that this time was, Arthur was up against a deadline. The first time in this whole renovation project did he have a deadline, and that deadline was our daughter Hannah was going to her formal, and she was determined that she was going in the ute. So it's probably a good thing. It probably gave you that catalyst to get going. I think we got the inspection, you're roadworthy, all okay to go on the road 3 days before the formal. So.
It was pretty cold.
So it's the daughter that's the ute chick.
No, none of us are ute chicks. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Steve, but none of us are ute chicks. So then once you've got the inside done, you have to get the outside done and putting back in all the lights that came in a part like this. Now, if you follow our utility, these are all the lights that you have and that were required in 1955. So this morning, and particularly after we've done a formal, which we've done a number of formals now, I follow the utility home because that is a tiny light when you see it, and when its brakes are on, you really can't see it a great deal. And the indicators are even lighter. So following it here this morning, they're only a little indicator. But that's all that was required in 1955, 56. So that's all it getting together. So then we came to the front, and you saw it there before, very sad with the dull chrome. I have a whistle on the back. So the only thing that really has been replaced in this entire episode, and why our utility wins the prizes that it does, is because it is still in original condition. And by that I mean it has all the windscreens are original, all the windows are original. The only thing that was replaced is the wood. Was it had worn out? The wood that is in the back. Everything else is original. We flushed out the radiator, has original wiring.
Rid the wiring because I wasn't quite concerned about the mice any damage to the wiring that I want to burn it down. But as far as the motor, it's had Welsh plugs and the water pump refitted. The carburetor is all the same, the distributor is exactly the same, the rotor is exactly the same. No work done on the motor really at all.
No.
I might just ask a little amazes me that where do you get all the parts from?
Well, there's some conditions. When you have a man who has a second love in his life, you've got to set conditions, you know. And we actually have one Vauxhall Ute as a spare up in the back. And how many are you allowed, honey? How many spares up the back? One spare. So you'll find other ones that are old of the same age, and we bought a matching chassis from, and you'll know David Ridgway, he's an accountant in town. Him and his father were avid Vauxhall collectors, and when Mr. Ridgway retired to come into Toowoomba, he got rid of his entire collection. It was massive. Anyone who drove between Greenmount and Nottingham, on the left-hand side there was a farm just full of Vauxhalls, and in amongst there was a pretty good chassis of a 1956 Vauxhall. So any spare parts, we used for that. So I think the current radiator in our ute right now is the radiator out of the other utility.
Some of the front end parts
Yes.
are out of other ute, but basically it's all original.
So if we have a breakdown, that's where we go, because we go to our ute. So as you see there, we polished up all the chrome, put all the headlights in. Things like our bumper bar, why we don't win the actual full renovations is because our bumper bar still has little bits of dents in it. We didn't want to remove that. That told the story of the utility. So we could have got a brand new one, but that's not the point. The point is we still don't wear seatbelts because there's no disc brakes, nothing in the motor has changed. It's original as in 1956. So there you can see that's the beginning of how we started. That's what we were working with, and up will come a picture now of how it looks now. So once all the rewiring was done and the motor was painted. So there you go.
How many man hours would you say?
Well, you know, no woman hours, I can tell you right absolutely no women hours, and men hours, I don't know, it's a love. What do you ever put with a love? I know just prior to being ready for the formal, you're in the shed a lot. He did suggest that in winter he could bring the chassis. We have a big pool room, and he wanted to bring the car out with the pool table and bring in the ute so he could work on it inside the house where it was warm. It was never happening. He thought it was a great idea. I did not. And here you go. Here's that cheeky daughters. This is 2 days before the formal. He just got the roadworthy. Look at those smiles. They've been following him along with the ute. So this is the girl that the formal, she was year 12, 3 days before her formal, and 3 years later Phoebe also went into the utility and went to the formal in the utility. It's since been to a number of formals. It's been to grammar. Actually, it made the Chronicle this last formal season. My nephew decided to take the ute to the Toowoomba Grammar Formal. It was one of the first that arrived because, you know, we're dealing with things like it may go, it may not go, and it overheats in formals. That's the biggest problem because they're always in December. And to cool this car, it needs to drive. Sitting still and running, you'll boil the car real quick. So we want to be one of the first cars in the formal, and the first one we got all the attention of the Chronicle photographer. So the poor old Ute had 2 rugby players in there, 6'3" and 6'5", and 2 pretty little girls that weighed nothing. But the poor old Ute, as it goes over speed bumps, was a little low. But
Okay, so what, the coppers look the other way on formal night, do they?
well, no, we drive. Well, there's always a second car. So if the people want to come in on the back, which we don't like, we actually took the magistrate, Bruce Showmax, twin daughter, and she was not allowed under any circumstances to be on the back, and we understood that. But most of them, when we get to the actual teardrop at picking point, they will hop out of the front of the car and hop in the back. We put Genoa lounges in there, or puffs in there, buffets, and they'll sit on that as it goes around. But they're only there for that very short. And you're right, the police do turn a blind eye, but they don't drive the whole way. It's only in that very last section. And the tricky thing then is getting out of the back of you with these girls with heels about this high. But they manage it, it works well. So now we spend our weekends going to car shows, and in particular this year was really important to both my husband and my father-in-law that they go around the show circuit. The reason being is that the ute is 60 years old. In February this year it was 60. So it was bought at the other show, so back to the other show we went, and we won the classic ute, clearly, and it got the show princesses in the back and went around the ring for the show, and my father-in-law was never so excited as to see the ute going and running again. Mind you, when ute competitions, I found out, are a law unto themselves. I don't know how much more time I've got.
You've got 15 minutes if you want it. But
So I'll go into ute
there
shows.
some-
Now, ute shows are a different beast altogether, and we are like the granddaddies turning up. So we turn up in our little car, no seatbelts, nice and quiet. We don't come roaring in with like stereos pumping out of the backyard. And there's about 5 or 6 different segments, and the best town ute, best street ute, best feral ute, best chicks ute. There you go, there's your chicks ute. And they have things like noise competitions where they'll take the decibel measure. People would know this particular word's got like a microphone and put it to the muffler, and the noise is the big thing. So the first time we come to this ute show, so the other thing I didn't say is that they display the utes, which we do, but they'll have flags and the feral utes particularly. It's, look, you've got to see the two.
Describe what you mean by feral ute.
So a feral ute is, as you can imagine, quite feral. So one ute in particular I quite like, it's just an old HQ ute, and any car label, any chrome bit like this, or Vauxhall, he's just gone with liquid glue and stuck it on the ute somewhere. So it's a matte black, and it's got badges of every car that you can imagine all over it. Other feral utes, one feral ute in particular, has like a netting cage, and every bit of alcohol he has drunk, the empty vessel is in this netting in the back seat. And so he's got rum bottles and cans, and they'll have an old swag in there. There's one fellow that has Barbie dolls, I don't know, all the way around the front, and all the way, it's got things in the back with Barbie dolls all up. But they're truly feral utes, you know? And you open the door and there's like lunch from 5 years ago still. Like, it's just feral. But that's what they want. then you're right beside the really pristine utes. Now, some utilities would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. They've got TVs in the back, they've got stereo systems. In fact, they haven't, in the back of their ute, they probably haven't got any area to carry anything. That'd be right up.
No storage, just.
No storage, they've got vinyl seats, you can sit in the back, and they lift up the hood, like the bonnet protector thing, they lift that up and they sit in there with the TV going and the stereo going and the ute, they'll get it pumping and yes, it's a whole different world. But anyway, back to the decibel measurer. They go around and the loudest ute, you've got to have the loudest ute. So the first time we come across this was Alra, our very first show competition, and they're going around measuring all the decibels. They come to us, I went, no, we're out, we got nothing. So, and it would take 5 to 6 hours to judge these utes. You'll have to be at the function by about 10, and they won't announce it until between 3 or 5, so you're at the show all day. But it was important to other that they show up the ute in its original condition from 60 years ago. So we won at the Ellen show, we won at the Clifton show, and we have second at the Millmerran show, which enabled us to go off to the RAS show competition, which is the videos, Facebook Live videos that we saw, which had over 500 hits, because people just are interested in what it's like to drive on the ute. I don't know if you've got any more photos from the So,
one at the top corner is at Maryborough.
oh, that's right.
The Vauxhall Nationals were up in Maryborough in 2008. We trucked our car up on the back of the trailer and took it up there, and I got second place for the E-model utility.
So that's from Vauxhalls all over Australia. So what I was talking about was the show ute circuit, but there's also the classic ute circuit, classic car circuit, and that's a whole different beast again. You go around and enter the exhibit. So this was at Maryborough too, yeah?
No, that was
Brisbane.
RSQ.
Yes.
All British Day.
All British Day. And so as you can see, there was certainly a colour of the car. So this is E-models from 54 to 57, all utilities. There is a different, so I'll go into the history of the Vauxhall. So the Vauxhall is owned by Holden, GmbH, and in the 50s they brought out the ute, but they basically brought out the chassis, and they were either a ute or it was called a Vauxhall Vagabond. It was exactly the same base, and the Vagabond was a bit similar. We have got one, but Ridgeway in Toowoomba as well.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's a two-door
Yes.
soft top.
Soft top. So same chassis and everything, but they're predominantly utilities in that era.
Okay, can I throw a question in there? I understood that the ute was an Australian invention.
Oh, now I had this at a trivia night just recently. It isn't. It was, we probably invented by a lady who wanted to go to church on Sundays, have people that could go to church on Sundays and take the pigs to market on Tuesdays. And I do actually remember that story. I thought it originated out of South Australia, but someone on Google can tell me really quickly. I actually thought the idea of it was from America, but certainly Australians took the whole concept by storm, and could be corrected on that. But I do know the story was the lady. It was a lady, and she said, "I want a church somewhere around church on Sundays, and to take the pigs to market on Monday." That's why the kids to market. Sorry.
Kids to market.
Pigs.
Kids.
Oh, kids too, yeah. Now, is this a Gatton album? Or the bottom one? The bottom one's a Gatton. And so when you go to the car, it shows they all love to see it underneath. We've got the little sign, we've got our sign out the front there. And this is a row of Vauxhalls. This is the local Vauxhall Queensland club. And we met down on a very, very hot weekend in Gatton. Australia's over again, I think it was, or around there. It was damn hot, I know that. And there was, so that cool one, if you have a look behind, it's actually one of the Vagabonds. So it's actually a car. So as you can see, they are the same sort of vehicle, but it's just the back that's different. That's it, I think. That's all.
Okay, can we go across to questions?
Yes. And on behalf of I'll be able to answer the questions, and I'll get up the video while Arthur's answering the questions. The video of actually driving the ute, which
Oh,
is
cool.
not used to, but I've got to get
same number plates at all?
No, it didn't have the same number plate. They cancelled those number plates back in early 80s or so, I suppose, when we got. No, yeah. He retired that vehicle and got an EH holder for the farm unit. He got an seat wagon for the family car, and the old youth retired and the plates went to God. So yeah, probably disappointed we couldn't find the plate number. I had no idea what it could have been. It might have been a Q plate, I don't know. Probably was a Q plate, yeah.
I think you can do it historical. You might get the same number, but you get an historical plate for the same year.
Yeah.
I think you've got some sort of special. What is the plate on it? What is it?
The plate on it is an open registration plate. It's VOX 55, as in Box 55. You can go just a club plate, an S plate, but I wouldn't be able to drive around on events like this. Club plates you can't go everywhere. Mum and Dad still live down at Clifton Alra, so I'd like to be able to take it out there occasionally, just take it for a run, take it wherever I want to.
So how often do you drive it?
I try to take it to work about once every fortnight, just for a day trip. That's only 4 or 5k, that's not long enough. Youth shows, club shows and things like that, I try to get it out as often as I can. David Hack Days. There's also a club show, I don't know who runs it at the moment, Tricks or Old Chrome, or somebody runs a show at BMS Hardware every month. I like to get to those shows. I hang around with a group of guys that I've got an old 55 shed 2-door, a couple of them have got RX 3s, 2s and 4s, and there's a little old Corolla, and we just go on day cruises every so often. Once a month we go on a day cruise. It might be a Gat, GM, Nobby, just cruise around, not do anything foolish, just having a bit of fun for a day.
So with the chrome, you said it was polished. You get a bit of chrome.
Some of the parts have got re-chromed, hubcaps and those bonnet flutes have got re-chromed. When it comes to the grill side of things, I just got out the steel wool and just polished them up. And most of the time that's all right with chrome. Any time it's a bit chipped or broken, you really got to get it redone. But anything that's half decent, you can just polish up with a bit of steel wool and a bit of fine polish and comes up pretty well.
Who did the recall?
Some guy in Toowoomba here, down on the railway line,
Yeah.
back up North Street, somewhere there. Yeah, little old fella, bit of a dark old shed, but he did that. Hudson's did the paintwork out of Pittsworth, and R&R upholstery in Laurel or tell me your name. Laurel Lane, no, Laurel Street, Hume Street area. There's an upholstery shop over there. Robbie Fisher did work with there.
You were saying that it overheats when it sits. Is this something that it has just done its entire life? Is that what it was like? Or is that because it's a 60-year-old car?
I don't remember it overheating when I was a young fella, but I'd say sitting for the amount of time the radiator's clogged up, and it needs a draw of air through it. It's not like a modern car with an electric fan that's always sucking air through or blowing air through. These need to be running fairly fast, as far as the motor goes, to suck that air through, get the air going through as you move forward to keep it cool. I've had the brakes done up on it, of course. That's only a legal requirement, it's just a safety requirement. But the master cylinder is only the slave cylinder. Master cylinder, they've got about 100 ml of fluid in it. That's all it takes. And as soon as you've got an air leak in that, you've got a soft spongy brake. You've got a leak in it anywhere. You pump it out 3 times, and you've lost all the fluid. So it's one of those little things that just got to keep maintaining and keep up to date. The upholstery was done real early in the piece, and that was a ploy. It was done in about the colour of the sign behind you there, Andrew. Nice bright red. That was the original colour of the upholstery. I got that done early so that I had a gold. I had that sitting in the barn for probably 5 years before I touched the rest of it.
So how long was it from day one that you said, okay, I'm actually going to do this?
I reckon about 5 years. It took me to pull apart from bringing it from the old shed to the workshop shed near the house at the farm. From that date till I got up on the road, I reckon about 5 or 6 years. I can't remember the actual date. I'll pull things out. But having pulled everything down, where you saw it sitting on the trailer that was heading off to Pittsburgh. And at that point in time, we were selling the barn, buying a house in town, buying a business, packing up that ute to take to the painter, packing up another ute with all the spares. It had a spare motor, and the motor was out of this one was in the back of that ute as well. Boxes of stuff, all tagged and tested and bagged and everything like that. It all had to come into the new shed so that when that empty shell came back to the new place, that they had to find a spot for, I could start putting it all back together. And that particular job probably took from late January, when the body and shell came back to my new place, to November. While running a business, I had to put this whole thing back together. So, you asked about hours, how many hours I spent on it. Probably 1,000. I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot of hours. I mean, every afternoon after work, I was in there doing something. Every night, I was in there for about 3 or 4 hours doing. That's all up on the screen there. This. Every night, I was in the shed, tinkering away, getting things organised, getting things on, putting a panel on, realising it wasn't fitting right, pulling it off, starting again, making certain it didn't scratch anything because I don't want it back to the panel shop again. It was labour of love, heaps of fun.
That car was probably designed for leaded fuel back then. So how are you running on unleaded now? Is it okay?
It's okay. I get a valve fluid, I don't know what they call it nowadays. There's a valve fluid I put a little bit in every time I fill up the fuel.
You are modified.
And I run a 95 octane fuel in it, yeah.
Okay. And to finish it off, we'll go for a ride in the ute.
Yes, this is, oh, you can tell them where we're coming from.
Coming from from Oakey, where the sub-chamber for the local shows competition was. There were five utes in this category, a lot of feral utes, chicken utes, forward drive utes.
We've lost the picture.
So this was at Lidge on the way home, as we're driving along the highway, and
Isn't that fabulous?
Yeah,
I'm just having trouble with the sound. It works last night, so I don't know why it's not working now. Then we'll have to give it a go. You might have to talk it through that.
I don't know what you said, but
No, we were hearing it here.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
it's all the original windscreen and windows. Nothing's changed there. I haven't got any cracks in them. I've got some speeds in case they do go bang, but they're all original. The doesn't work, I've got a twisted cable or a bit of bend in the cable, and it just knocks and knocks and knocks all the time, so I need to find a new one of those. And yeah, no radio, no seat belts, no air conditioning, no safety, and rough as guts. But it bounces along.
It definitely bounced along.
Bounced along.
And with that, we have to pull you up because we've run out of time, but thank you very much. That was quite